So you're thinking about buying a home here at Lago Mar, this wonderful resort-style community in the southeast part of Houston, but you might be wondering, what kind of pros and what kind of cons does this community have? Because everything sounds great on paper, you know, you have the lagoon, but what kind of underwater stones can you expect once you move into the community? So in this video, I will share with you 6 pros and 6 cons that I have found after 2 years of living here at Lago Mar that you definitely want to know before making any kind of further steps and buying a home in this community. And if you stick around until the end of the video, I will share with you one of the things that annoys me personally the most when it comes to living in this community. You don't want to miss that as well. So without further ado, let's start with pro number 1. So the pro number 1 when it comes to Lago Mar is definitely going to be its lagoon. There's a few communities just like Lago Mar scattered around Houston, Texas, but they are not fully completed yet, and Lago Mar is ready to entertain adults and kids. You know, there's a lot of games and attractions for the kids, there's a lot of events and concerts and things of that nature for the adults, so you're definitely not going to get bored when it comes to spending the weekend here at Lago Mar, and that makes the lagoon definitely a huge pro. And this brings us to the con number 1. The lagoon of course brings a lot of business and a lot of traffic into this area, and if you are an investor and you are thinking of buying a home in this community and converting it into a short-term rental, I have some bad news for you, because the HOA does not allow any kind of short-term rentals like Airbnb or any other type. Only long-term rentals are allowed, which limits some of the option of how you can use your investment property. Now, of course, at the same time, these type of rules do regulate the traffic that goes through the community, which can be a good thing for the residents. And by the way, my name is Ivan Orevkov. I'm part of CGP Realty Group, and we help people just like yourself to find their perfect homes here in the Houston area. And if you are enjoying this video so far, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you would like to stay up to date when it comes to all real estate news here in the Houston area. And let's go to the pro number 2. You might be thinking that buying a home in a community just like Lago Mar with this type of amenities is gonna cost a fortune. Well, I have some good news for you, because the homes in this community are starting from the higher $200,000, which on the scheme of our nationwide prices of median home price being at $400,000, this is actually a pretty good deal. So a lot of people are able to get in and get into a starter home here at Lago Mar. There's plenty of options, plenty of builders that offer crazy incentives. So if you need some help finding those deals, please reach out. I'll be able to find you a great home. And this brings us to the con number 2. Of course, because we are dealing with a newer construction, with a newer development, the city did take out a bunch of loans from the Texas government to create the infrastructure and the utilities for all the homeowners here at Lago Mar, and that creates additional taxes and tax obligations for every single homeowner. Now, of course, if you're comparing an older community to Lago Mar most likely will have that mud tax on top of the regular rate, which of course over the years is going to go down, and the loan is going to get paid off, but that's going to take a substantial amount of time before you will see this type of tax reduction. And if you are thinking about saving on taxes every single year, this is definitely going to be a deciding factor of whether you're going to go for Lago Mar or other community. Now this brings us to the pro number 3, and this is my personal favorite. If you are just like myself and you enjoy taking those nice walks along the beach and during sunset, and you have a lot of sense of appreciation for places with deep history, well, we're only 20 minutes away from Galveston, Texas. Now Galveston, Texas provides a ton of entertainment for people who live nearby. You know, we have all the water activities, trails, entertainment, shopping, things of that nature. Everything is going to be available for you in Galveston, Texas, and being close by to it definitely makes it a huge pro for Lago Mar. Now, the proximity to Galveston can also be a huge con because of how close we are to the Gulf of Mexico. This brings a lot of humid air to this area, and if you have low tolerance toward humidity, this can definitely be a huge con. If you compare humidity levels, let's say here at Lago Mar comparing to some place in, let's say, Katy, Texas, I was definitely able to notice that it was much easier to breathe in Katy comparing to over here. During summertime, it can get really heated and very, very humid. During the wintertime, it's absolutely beautiful, but summertime can be an issue for some people. Now we are at the pro number 4, and this can be a little bit controversial for me personally. I really appreciated the fact that we are connected to the Texas-New Mexico power comparing to ERCOT, because during the last weather event, which was Hurricane Beryl, we kept power throughout the whole entire time despite having 70 miles an hour winds. Now we did have a little bit of damage here and there when it comes to the buildings and the fences, but nothing too major, and I think that's a huge pro when it comes to Lago Mar. Now the con number 4 is going to be strict HOA rules. I have a bit of a personal grudge when it comes to this one. About a year ago, I was trying to set up a gazebo in the backyard of my house, and the amount of rules that they had when it comes to how many feet away the pavers have to be from one side of the fence to the other side of the fence, how that the gazebo cannot be closed lattice, it has to be open lattice, and you can use these trees but not those trees, and then you cannot use gravel as a decoration. It was just overly regulated in my opinion, and created a lot of unnecessary friction when it comes to figuring out the plan of how to set up my backyard. Now of course these type of rules are made to create a sense of uniformity in the community, but in my personal opinion I think that the inability to choose what kind of bush goes on the backyard of my house that no one is going to see is definitely a huge con for Lago Mar. Now things are not all doom and gloom when it comes to HOA here at Lago Mar, because we are at the pro number 5 and it is relatively low HOA fees. Now as a real estate agent, I definitely know that there's a lot of communities out there where the HOA fees are much higher than here in Lago Mar and you're barely getting anything for your money. Now over here at Lago Mar, you're definitely getting the access to the lagoon, you are getting your security system covered in the HOA, you are getting the access to the gyms, you're getting the access to the pools and all the amenities that Lago Mar has to offer, and I think that makes it a wonderful value for money when it comes to Lago Mar. Now the con number 5 is going to be a bit of a temporary one, and I would say it's definitely a lack of options, that lack of convenient options when it comes to buying your groceries. Yes, there is Walmart about 5 minutes away, but you already know that Walmart has only basics. So if you wanted something a little bit more intricate, let's say places like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's or HEB. HEB is the closest one that you're gonna get over here at Lago Mar, and that's gonna take you about 15-minute one way to get to the store. So that makes it a bit of an inconvenient. Like I said, it is a temporary one because they do have plans to build an HEB here in the territory of Lago Mar, which is going to be fantastic. But for now, it's definitely a con for Lago Mar. Now, developing area is not always a horrible thing, and this brings us to the pro number 6, and that is going to be great potential when it comes to equity appreciation. Now, developing area means that there's a lot of development going on in this neighborhood. There's going to be a grocery store, like I mentioned earlier, in this community. There's going to be hotels, entertainment. There's a lot of there's a water park opening up nearby in this area. So the more they build over here, the more infrastructure they create in this area, the higher the property values are going to be. That creates a lot of opportunities for people who want to get into the Lago Mar while the prices are low, ride that property value appreciation up, and then get out and cash in some good money. So that's definitely a huge plus for Lago Mar. Now we finally arrive at the con number 6, and the way I look at it is, because it's still a developing area, there is a certain lack of cool new businesses and new entertainment options in the area. For example, not so long ago, I took my wife to this place in Houston area. It's called Zero Latency. It was a very interesting VR type of experience that me and my wife really enjoyed, but it did take us about an hour one way to get there. So it is definitely a con at the moment in this area, but then again, it really depends on how you look at it, because it also can be a pro, because the lack of options in this area also creates a demand, and maybe you can be the person who is going to be opening up a business like that in this area and ripping off the benefits and settling in the neighborhood and getting into the niche early on. So again, depending on how you look at it, it can be a pro and a con for different type of people, but at the moment, it's still a con for Lago Mar. Again, my name is Ivan Arefkov, and if you can still live with everything that I mentioned in the con section of this video and you would like to move here to Lago Mar but need more information about current incentives, please feel free to reach out by any means necessary. Shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, or book that Zoom call meeting. All the information is in the description section down below. And by the way, if you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment. If you already live here at Lago Mar, again, let me know. Did I forget something? What are the things that you'd like and you dislike about this neighborhood? I'd be curious to hear from you. Now, as a last bonus, I would definitely like to share with you one of the things that I really don't like about Lago Mar. As a bonus, here is a con number 7, and it will really affect you depending on your lifestyle. For me personally, I like going to the gym, and the fact that the fan at the gym has been broken, the main fan on the ceiling has been broken since December of 2023, blows my mind. How can it possibly be that they cannot get a part and to fix the fan for half a year? In any case, this issue persists. Yes, they have set up a few smaller fans to circulate the air inside of the gym, but the issue still remains, and they're still not able to fix the fan. So if you're the type of person who wants the fan be blowing, that's gonna be an issue for you. Again, there's a second gym, but there's no big fan on the ceiling either. In any case, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one, and give this video a like and subscribe. Bye.